welcome back to the channel. I'm sorry if I've been missing in action for a bit. I've obviously not done a vlog for a while. It's just been so hectic. Little bit of an update. We're now at the end of August and we have our visa interview. We found out on the 8th of August. We got an email from, our lawyer got an email from the embassy inviting us to make an appointment for an interview. So we logged onto the system together, and the earliest appointment was the 8th of September at 7:30. So at the time I said, well, is there nothing they would like a little bit later? And he said, well, if you want sort of like 9:30ish onwards, you're looking at like 15th of October. And I just said, oh no, let's just get it booked because we've waited long enough. And we found out that looking into it, our lawyer looked into it, and normally it's like a 60-day wait time. And in the summer that jumped to 90 days. Excuse me. So even though when we submitted our application, it said 60 days, that jumped to 90 days without us sort of being told. When you go on the actual website, it does say 90 days. And we'd been chasing, and we just kept getting like an email back, and it's not an automated email, but it reads automated. It is actually an actual person on the other end emailing you back. It's not a bounce back or auto reply or anything like that, but it does read that way as if it's automated. So it's just like a standard reply that somebody actually does send back, and that's what we kept getting. And on the 89th day of us submitting the application, we got an invite to book the interview. So it is taking all that time. So yeah, so we've finally got it. By the time this comes out, we will have had the interview, because I'm a bit superstitious like that. I didn't want to announce it that we had the interview, and then obviously not get it, because that would just be crap. So and possibly the end of the channel, because obviously it'd be kind of the end of the journey, and there you go. There's gonna be nothing else really to say about it. So I didn't want to say anything until the interview is passed. So even though I've pre-recorded this, it will come out after we've had the interview. So that's where we're up to now. So the past month or so, we've just been doing, a few family things, kept clearing things out. We've met up with friends, had a couple of nights out, things like that. Sorry, I'm just getting messages on my phone and it distracted me. Yeah, just trying to catch up with people, because obviously we're not going to see everyone as often anymore. Catching up with family, friends, things like that. So that's kind of been the sort of primary agenda really, and it's been really frustrating, which I am going to sort of talk about a little bit more. A few other people that are on the same journey as us, Lisa, Hides, we've been in contact, or I've been in contact with both of them throughout the process, because we're all sort of on the same journey. Even though Lisa's put my teeth back in. Lisa's visa is very similar to ours. The Hides is a little bit different, but we're all on the same journey, as in, you're waiting for a visa. Selling houses, you're in limbo because you don't know what's going on. Houses falling through, like sales falling through. We were in that position. Hides have been in that position. Sharing that experience with people that are in the same position as you has sort of really helped it's helped me, I think, because you sort of realise that you're not on your own. You're not the only one going through it. You're not the only one that's been through it. But it has not been easy. It has been stressful. It's took 2 years. So by the time our visa interview has been and passed, it will have took 2 years to get that visa. And I'm not saying that that is the same for everybody. You know, some people might do it quicker than that. Some people might do it longer than us. I don't know. But it has took us 2 years, and that has been sheer hard work. It's been hard work saving the money to pay for all the paraphernalia that you've got to pay for, lawyers, setting up the business, putting all that investment into it. And it's not just financial investment, it's blood, sweat and tears. So, you know, we've had a couple of people say, oh, you're gonna be so lucky. And it's very easy to say that. It's not about luck, it's about sheer hard work. This is not an easy process, and not just an easy process from hard work and financial commitment. It's the emotional stress that it puts you under. And particularly once you've put that application in, your life is in their hands and you've got no real communication with them whatsoever, because all you'll get is like an automated response, and that is pretty much it. So that is hard. You know, I think it's been frustrating for Chris. He's very impatient. I'm a lot more patient than he is. But, you know, he'd come home every day and go, have you heard anything from the lawyer? Have you heard it? And I'd be like, no, nothing yet. And he's like, oh, for God's sake, how long is this going to take? And that went on for weeks, absolute weeks. You know, there was a time where we thought, right, 60 days and then we'll hear something. That 60 days came and went. And we was like, oh, God, when are we going to hear something? And it was getting really frustrating. And also, we'd put our house on the market, and it's like, you've got to time that right as well. It's like, you don't want to do it too early because you don't want the sale to go through. You don't want, you don't want the sale to drag out because you want to get it gone. So there's just such a fine line in terms of trying to stack everything up. And then in addition to that, you might not even get the visa. So it's like, and then Chris said to me a couple of times, what if we don't get it? What if we don't get it? And I'm like, I don't even want to think about that. I think I probably did I avoid the conversation? Possibly. Because I didn't even want to think about not getting it. You know, our lawyer said, you know, we had he can't guarantee that we're going to get the visa. All he can do is do his best for us, but there is no 100% guarantee that you are going to get it. And although he said from the outset, you know, we had a really strong application, you know, everything that we'd submitted, we'd done everything we possibly could. You know, 40% of that visa is your interview. And if you cock that up, then, you know, it's game over. And then what are you supposed to do then? And the answer to that is I didn't even want to think about the alternative. So I've kind of avoided answering it, which is probably not, I've not fully avoided answering it, but I've just said, you know, well, we're just going to have to cross that bridge when we come to it. But that kind of thought process has been tough. So if anybody is considering doing this, I'm not trying to put you off, because I know that if you really want it, then you'll do it, you know. I'm just trying to highlight the stresses, and the emotional side of it is tough. It is tough. Yeah, I don't even know what else to say about it really, but I think it does need to be sort of talked about. The Hydes have talked about it, Lisa's talked about it, and I think we've all kind of got our own sort of version of it. And I wouldn't say I've had like full on anxiety over it, but you do sort of sometimes sit there stressing over it, thinking, because you just want everything to come together at the right time. And someone says to me, if fate will make it happen, if it's meant to be, it's meant to be, which is a really good way of thinking of it. And if, willing it to happen, but you just don't know, because your life is in somebody else's hands. When they're reviewing that application, when they're going to interview you, your life is in their hands. And that is tough, to think that they could just take it away from you, even in the click of the fingers like that. You could get a really arsey interviewer who's having a bad day, or you could just literally say something wrong and they could refuse you. So I think that kind of scenario plays on your mind as well. We've had 3 interviews with our immigration lawyer. He did 3 mock interviews with us to prepare us for the interview, and each one we've had, me and Chris are like, oh God, I need a drink after that, because he really grilled the hell out of us. But he said, I'm trying to prepare you for a worst case scenario, just in case you do get somebody interviewing you like that, who is, a bit of a grumper, a real stickler for this, that or the other. You just don't know what you're going to get on the day. We've been grilled on our figures for the business, your turnover, your profit, what kind of salary me and Chris are going to be on, how many people you're going to employ, why you've chosen the area to be located in, what have you spent your money on, why have you spent it on X, Y and Z, what you're going to do with your business in the UK, why have you chosen Florida, how much experience Chris has got, which he's had for 20 odd years, but just all those kind of questions we've been grilled on, but really intense grilling, which has been hard. It's been, we've managed to answer all the questions. I mean, there was, I think probably it was either our second or first interview. There was, I think, maybe 1 or 2 questions. Me and Chris were sat there and we both looked at each other and we were like, a bit, don't know. So it's been good practice. And I think anybody who is going through this process, if you are going through this process and you are, I think particularly if you're doing an E2 and you've got to justify your business and things like that, if your lawyer doesn't suggest doing it, then ask them to, could you do this, and just talk me through how it's going to be, because to me it's been invaluable. Oh well, I know to Chris it's been invaluable as well. It's really sort of prepped us for when the interview comes, and all there is to do now really is to get to the embassy. So our appointment is at 7:30 on the 8th of September. We're going up for the weekend. We've never been to, I think Chris has been to Wembley or something like that years ago when he was a kid watching football, and I've been to London once for work, but I literally was there for 2 hours for a meeting. So literally we've never even been to London, so we said we'll make a weekend of it. Yeah, and just we're going up on the Saturday, interviews on the Monday morning, 7:30. Well, I say 7:30, but the embassy on the website, it's not open till 8 o'clock. So see how that pans out, but I believe that the queues are massive when you get there, so it might be that they do open up early just to sort of let you in and process you. I don't know, but obviously once I've been through it, I'll vlog that and explain fully how that works, because it's a bit of a minefield at the moment, because obviously I've not gone through it. So yeah, so we're going up on the Saturday on the train. We we weren't going to drive or anything like that. There's nowhere to blooming park anyway in London, and obviously all the ULEZ and all that paraphernalia, I'm not going through all that. And like I said, there's nowhere, the hotel that we're staying at, there's nowhere to park. All we've done is book a Premier Inn nearest to, as near to the embassy as I possibly could get, which was about a mile and a half away, something like that. So we've just booked something like that. You know, as long as it's clean and can sleep us all, we're all just going to bung in a family room for a couple of nights. And yeah, just make a weekend of it, really. But my priority was to be near the embassy, with it being such an early appointment as well. I think the tax is about 15 quid, obviously London prices, but the tax is about 15 quid. I've looked on Uber to see how far away it was and stuff like that. So we're probably going to get there at about 10 to 7. It says you've got to be there about half an hour before anyway, and I think that's because of the queues and stuff. So we might get there a little bit earlier because you just don't know how big that queue is going to be, and you don't want to be stood at the back of it. I don't know whether it's going to chuck it down, anything like that. So just trying to be prepared as possible at this stage. So yeah, so that's kind of where things are up to. We've started packing stuff away, getting rid of more stuff. That's just been a constant for months now, but obviously just picking away at things. I've started packing away home decor stuff that I want to take with me. Izzy started packing away her books and all the stuff that she wants to take out of her bedroom, so we've made a start on that. As you know, all of our furniture pretty much is staying here. It's being purchased with the house, so it's not as if we've got to get rid of all that. I've just sold, Chris had an ice bath, so I've just sold that this morning. And that's kind of about it, really. There's nothing else really to report. I just wanted to kind of touch upon the reality of how stressful this has been, just like the others have, because although they've touched upon it, everybody's story has been a little bit different. And I think that's how I've kind of learned so much off other people who have done this process, or not particularly this visa, any kind of the visas, but the whole moving thing, just like general life admin, like getting all your details off your doctors. How do you get a driving licence? Which I'll probably do a separate vlog for that when I've got there and things like that. I mean, I requested our doctor's notes, you know, our medical records months ago, because I'd watched somebody else and they said they couldn't get the kids into school because they didn't have any medical records, and the medical records were taking weeks and they'd waited till they'd got there. I've requested ours already. I did it months ago. I mean, luckily I got mine the same day, but you know, I just don't think you can be prepared enough for things like that. And it's just, yeah, just if you just watch as many people's vlogs as you can, you just pick little snippets up of information and you kind of learn off other people's mistakes as well. So I've tried to avoid, I'm not saying I'm not going to make any mistakes, because I'm pretty certain I am, because like I said before, everybody's journey is a little bit different. Nobody's is exactly the same, but I've tried to learn off other people's mistakes, or learn off what other people have told of their experience, to try and avoid, you know, doing the wrong thing or things like that, really. One other thing that we have made the decision on is that if we do get the visa, we are going to rehome the dogs. We're not going to take them to the States. We've found a home for them through their border terriers. We've found a home for them via the Border Terrier Welfare Charity, and the stipulation is that, I'm not going to go into the reasons why we've rehomed them, but all I'm going to say is it's best for the dogs. We feel it's best for the dogs to rehome them. So that's what we're going to do. But our strong stipulation is that they had to stay together. So, and luckily the lady that's going to have them, She had 3 border terriers in the past, which unfortunately passed away, and she has agreed to take them both on. So that's kind of worked out well. So obviously after the interview, all being well, we will arrange a date for them to go before we go. So yeah, but yeah, I'm sorry. Sorry, where was I? So there's a parcel at the door. Yeah, so we have made the decision to rehome the dogs. Like I said, I'm not going to go into it too much, but it's the best decision for them, and that's all that matters. So I'm liaising with them back and forth, and we'll obviously finalise a date when that comes. So that's kind of it really. There's not really anything else to report. House sale is going through, you know, it takes its time, doesn't it? So hopefully we're looking at mid to end of September for the house sale to go through. But the lady said we can stay in it till the end of September. She knows our circumstances and that we'll be moving. The plan of action, I think, so far is to go out there at the end of September because we need to close on the house. They have extended it twice now for us because of our circumstances, which we've had to sort of negotiate and come to an agreement with. So we're going to go over there for a week, close on the house, and then we will come back for maybe probably about 4 or 5 weeks. We've got things to finalise business-wise over here. Excuse me. We've got things to finalise over here business-wise, vehicles to get rid of, equipment to get rid of, just that kind of general stuff really. So we're going to be, obviously the house will be sold by then, and we are going to be staying with my parents, who might regret that decision, but there's no going back on it now. No, I'm sure they won't, but so thank you in advance for putting up with us. Yeah, so that's kind of the plan of action. Go over end of September, come back. We'll be coming back for maybe a month, 5 weeks, something like that, and then we'll fly out for good. God, fly out for good. That sounds a bit scary, doesn't it? Good scary, but there you go. So it's exciting. So we'll be there, fingers crossed, for Christmas. I think it's probably going to be realistically end of October, beginning of November, somewhere around that mark when we actually properly go. And we'll have Christmas in our new house, hopefully, fingers crossed, all being well. So I'm going to end the vlog there now. And the next vlog will be to let you know whether we've got our interview on. Not interview, our visa. Oh God, I'm losing the plot. Yeah, we'll be to let you know whether we've got the visa. And I'll let you know how all that process goes. Because I think there's a lot of questions going around how it works, and it's supposed to be like a post office booth and things like that. So I'll let you know if it is like a post office or not. But yeah, so there you go. So if anyone has got any questions in the meantime, I have been getting a lot of questions on Instagram mainly and Facebook. I've had 2 just while I've been sat here pinging through my phone. Please reach out and ask. I'm as I've told many people, I am not here for advice. I can only tell you what my experience has been, and what I have learned. So please don't. Someone had a joke that I should be giving out advice, but I just said absolutely not. I am no expert on this. I can only tell you what I have experienced myself and read about, or you know, that kind of thing. And if I am telling anybody the wrong information, then someone correct me, because that's not fair. So, but like I say, I can only tell you what I've learned and my personal experience on the journey that we're having. That's the whole reason why I'm doing it, because like I said before, there has been vlogs out there that people have done, but everyone's is slightly different. So, and I think a lot of people vlog this kind of journey once they've got there. You don't really see anybody vlogging it beforehand. So, you know, a lot of people vlog, oh yeah, I've got the American dream, I've got an American visa, we're here, life's great, blah, 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 blah. Nobody really documents this side of it, actually going through the process of getting a visa, how hard it is, and all the legwork that you've got to do with it, and like we've just been talking about in this vlog, the emotional side of it. So that was one of the reasons why I wanted to do this, because of that side of it, there's not enough information on, I don't think, and you can only learn so much from your lawyer as well, because there's been times where I've learned stuff off the internet or off YouTube or whatever kind of social media, and then I'll be getting on the phone to the lawyer going, I've just read this, is that right? Or I've just read this, is that right? So even though your lawyer's there to advise, there's certain things that they don't always cover, which is more of a thing like when you get there, and yeah, I can't think of anything particular off the top of my head at the moment, but yeah, you just have to ask so many questions just for your own personal benefit, which might not benefit the next person, but it could really benefit you. So yeah, so that's one of the reasons why I wanted to do this, really, and also to look back on it maybe in like a year's time and go back and think, God, that's, remember when we did this, and remember when we were, going through all that crap when we was doing the visa and we was in limbo, and look where we are now. So I think that's going to be nice to look back on. Obviously, fingers crossed we get the visa. So I said 5 minutes ago I was going to end the vlog, but I've just been chunnering on again for another 5 minutes. So I am going to end the vlog now. Thank you everybody for watching. The numbers are going up slowly, so thank you for subscribing and watching the vlogs so far. I know they've not been the most exciting, but this part of the journey is not the most exciting, it's just more informative, I suppose, but it's still important, I think, for people. So thank you for watching. If you don't subscribe, please click on the put my teeth back in again. Please click on the subscribe button. It helps the channel. It helps you see when another video comes out. It helps obviously it grow and things like that. So please do that and give me a thumbs up. That would be much appreciated. And hopefully I will have some good news for you on the next vlog. So have a lovely week, everyone, and bye for now.